Good evening, peeps. How are we doing? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday. So, where are you in the world as per normal? And today I wanted to talk about how you can progress at home. If you're a complete beginner, and you know, some people will disagree with me with this, but actually you can make far more progress polling at home than sometimes you can at the studio. And we know that from our own members. There's so many of our members started off in the studio, particularly mixed ability. They felt like they plateaued or they just didn't get the support that they needed. And then they trained at home. And now they make more progress than they ever have before. So I know it's possible, but for so many of you, like if you're beginning your journey with pole and you're like, I just don't know what to do, it's completely normal. It's so normal not to know where to begin. But like I said, you can make far more progress at home than at the studio, okay? And if you go to both, so I know some of our members will still go to the studio and still do our program, for example, because their program actually helps them achieve more in their pole classes or their studio classes. So yeah, so having a pole at home, so if you've just invested in a pole at home and you're like, I don't know what to do, and then you've not really used it, let's talk about it, okay? Let's talk about it. Let's figure it out. Let's make a plan. So that's what this live is all about, okay? So welcome. I don't know if you can see it. We're just going to stay here because I'm hoping my internet. Can you see all those names on the board? Can we zoom in here? No. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at okay, so yes, we've got some. Oh God, this is why I shouldn't touch anything. Just stay there, which is awesome. So I want to give a shout out to Joanna and Diane as well, who sent some Facebook stars in the last live. Awesome, thank you so much, peeps, and thank you for sharing the love around the world. So excited to have you, a lot of you here. So I know a lot of you would rather watch the replay, which is absolutely fine. And I'm hoping that my internet stays good for you guys while I'm doing the live. If they do really start to bugger up, I'll just start recording and posting it, and then I can just answer questions. But I would really love if any of you are here right now and you're new. You know what? I've got my computer up so I can make sure that I can see questions. So let me just make sure. So if you are here and if you are new and you have a pole at home, like, are you struggling to know what to do on your pole? Let me know. So let's go through it together. Let's make it specific to you guys. If you need help. If not, you're just going to hear me ramble, and I'd rather help people specifically with maybe what they're stuck with. Okay. Hey, Kathy. Hey, Hazel. How you doing? Kathy says, yes, so true. Much more progress at home. Woo! So awesome. Yes, and I know for a lot of people, they think that's not possible. Like they think that they need a instructor there to spot them, which is not true, guys. If you are new, you shouldn't necessarily need a spot. Spotting should come a little bit later, like when you're inverting and that kind of things, if you are in mixed ability classes. But otherwise, you can learn in a safe progressional manner at home without a spotter. Of course, having a spotter would be helpful, but it's not essential. Like most of our members don't have spotters at home, but because they learn in a progressional order, they make far more progress than go into a studio to be spotted. And I know that sounds insane and you're like, oh yeah, whatever, you're talking rubbish. But actually, until you do it, like you don't understand the progress you can make at home far faster. You'll feel boost your confidence up so much more. Because if you feel like you can't do what you're doing at the studio, and I'm talking more for beginners here, if you feel like you can't do what you're doing currently at the studio at home, then you need to kind of go, well, why? Like, why can I not practice this? Like, is it that, you know, I'm not safe enough? Have I not learned the prerequisites properly? Am I not getting my gripping points? Am I relying on my spotter too much? Does that make sense? If it's a case that I just don't know what to do, okay, you get your pole and you're like, okay, I'll just do a step around 1,000 times because that's all you can remember, then that's a different story altogether. Hey, Jennifer, how you doing? Hazel says much more balance with the program, which is great, because that's the thing, guys. When you're training at home, I know what it's like. You know, we're all polars, and so therefore you want to do everything, right? You just like, oh, well, I need to do pole, I need to do the tricks, oh, I need to increase my flow, oh, I need to increase my lines and my flexibility, oh, but I need to build my strength, I really want to get my chopper, I really want to get my shoulder mount, and there's just so much to do, and you're like, how do I physically fit all this in when I have a full-time job, or, you know, I'm a stay-at-home mum and I, you know, struggle. Like, sometimes it's not possible to train everything. Actually, for most people, you can't train everything all at once every week, unless this is all you do, and you have nothing else. It's very, very difficult to do. So you have to find that balance, and you will need to do everything at some point. But trying to do a little bit of everything right away, you're going to plateau, guys. Okay, so if you're like, oh, I'll do some training towards my invert. Oh, I know I need to work on those tricks, and then so you may do a couple of sessions a week, and then you're like, oh, next week, oh, I really need to work on splits, so I'll book into a splits class. Or do you know what I mean? So there's no consistency, and that's definitely really important when it comes to progressing, whether at the studio or whether at home. Consistency is super, super important. If you're just like here, there and everywhere, you know, if you're just doing it for fun and you don't really want to, you know, you're not bothered about results, maybe you just go for the social aspect, then it doesn't really matter. But if you want to progress at home and you've got a pole at home for that reason, because you want to get better, you just don't know what to do, then we need to make a plan, okay? And so the first of all, though, if you have a pole at home, you have to think about, well, why do I have a pole at home to start with? Like, what is it that you want to achieve? Like, and why do you want to achieve it? So if you want to progress, and you know, but why do you want to progress? Why do you want to train on your pole at home? Is it because poling makes you feel like a fucking badass? Excuse my language. A freaking badass. That's better, Kelly. A freaking badass? Like, hell yeah. Why wouldn't you want to feel like a freaking badass, right? So that gives you that drive and the reason why to do something. If you don't train, so if you're one that makes excuses up and then ends up not training, and then do you feel guilty? Because do you want to continue to feel guilty, or do you want to feel that badass? So you kind of go, okay, yeah, no, it makes me feel amazing. This is the feeling that is the reason why I want to do it. I feel like it's an accomplishment to myself because I've not done it, you know, not committed to anything before. So first of all, you have to really think about why do you want to do it? Because if you don't have a reason why, you're going to make excuses. You're going to make, you know, you're not going to do it. You're not going to commit, or you may even do it for a month. Okay. You might commit to a month and then you'll fall off, because your reason why isn't big enough for you to continue. Does this make sense? Okay. If you know, because that's the thing, like, everything can be good in the short term, can't it? But long term, you've got to really want it to maintain that consistency. So that's number one, basically. Number two, so once you've got your reason why, is your mindset, okay? Do you have the right mindset for growth, or do you always find excuses? So if you're quite a bit of a negative Nancy, and you know, you've got a complaint for anything and everything, there's always something to moan about, you know, if you're a person that does a whole lesson, some of my girls will relate to this, and you'll probably feel called out. Like, MTC, okay, which is our Master Chopper program. It's not always fun, but it gets you the results, right? And if there's one move on there, okay, maybe it's the floor inversion crunches, maybe it's a floor chopper, although I've taken that out. You know, and do you just go, oh, I can't do it, or even tucks, okay? I saw somebody earlier who wrote that, I can't even do my tucks. Okay, so out of, like, you know, 10 moves or 10 exercises within that training session, have you only picked up that one move that you struggled with, and you haven't just given yourself a pat on the back for the, you know, other 9 moves that you've achieved? You know, so you kind of have to look at it in a bigger picture, okay? You know, is it just this one move that you're focusing on? Because you'll probably find that will come along with time and consistency. Some things you are not going to get right away, and if you don't have the mindset to accept that, you're going to struggle and you're going to feel like you're not good enough. So you have to go, you know what, I am good enough. I'm where I need to be right now, and I need to progress. So if you know that and you understand that you're not going to get everything right away, then you've got something to aim for. Then you can have a plan and you can break it all down and that all that malarkey. Okay, does that make sense so far? Cool. Let me know if you've got any questions. Okay. Just sent you some stars instead of buying a chocolate bar after yesterday's mission 5. Oh, Kathy, thank you so much. Oh, I feel touched. Thank you. Thank you for my stars. I'll have to get you on the whiteboard. Yeah, thank you. That means a lot. Thanks. Okay, threw me out there. Okay, so planning. Okay, now planning is something that most people don't do. So actually being Sunday is my day to plan. So I have my diary out and I plan week by week at the moment. I used to plan months in advance, and I've got my main stuff months in advance. But you know, having a little one, things change quite often. So I at the moment find planning week by week is much more manageable for me, else I end up scribbling everything out in my diary. I'm like, yeah, that's all changed. Some things I can do more of, so therefore what I planned, you know, the next day or something I've already done. Does that make sense? So yeah, so I plan week by week. And I do it every Sunday, so I know what's coming up. And also, if you plan, you're more likely to do it. I've said this before and I will say it again. Poll for most people is so important because it makes them feel good. You know, we live in a really shitty world, it can be really negative if you look for the negatives, okay? So my suggestion is stop watching the news and all that, okay? Because you don't need any of that negativity, and focus on everything that's really good in this world, and you'll start to feel so different. I promise you that. I deleted and blocked everything that I feel is negative, that doesn't impact my life more positively, because when you've got a better mindset that's more positive, everything that you want to achieve, everything you want to do will become so much easier to achieve, and you'll feel better because you'll start to train your mindset. So if you're so used to going and finding the negative in every single session rather than looking at all the like 8-10 things that you could do, you'll always continue to be in a negative mindset. But if you continue to work on always finding the good in not just your training but life in general, it will make a huge difference as you go on. You won't find it such a chore, because some people are asked, okay, tell me 3 positive things today, or tell me 3 things you're grateful for, and they really struggle. And if you're really struggling, guys, there's something wrong with your mindset, okay? It's not tuned to serve you the best way possible. So I definitely want you to take a step back, and the first thing before you even write your plan for the week is say 3 things you're grateful for, 3 things you're positive about, that you just feel amazing for, that you're so happy to have in your life, and actually feel the love, okay? Because before you write your plan, you want to feel freaking awesome, okay? You want to feel like everything is achievable, and yes, you can totally achieve it because you're totally worth it, okay? Awesome. Alrighty, so once we've got that, let's get stuck into actually how to make a plan. So first of all, we had a look at like why you want to achieve it, why do you want to progress at home, why did you purchase a pole for home? But how do we progress? So this is going to come down to your goals. So as I'm having the chocolate, it's Sunday treat day. You go for it, Hazel. I love chocolate, but I am trying to be good. Like I was talking about yesterday with nutrition, I got on my fitness power earlier, and yeah, so my granddad took me out to get a drink, like Costa, and I had a hot chocolate. He brought me a large hot chocolate. I don't usually get a large hot chocolate, but anyway, brought me a large. Those cups are like massive. Jeez. And then so I inputted it, so I drank it, and then I inputted it after, because he brought me the hot chocolate, and so I inputted it on my Fitness Pal to see how many calories it was, because then I could work out what I could eat for the rest of the day. 400 calories in this hot chocolate. I was like, wow, that's like one of my meals. Anyway, I digress. Okay, going back to this plan, okay? So what do you want to achieve, okay? And that could be anything. It could be consistency. Is it that you're not training every week right now? Do you want to get on your pole every single week? Consistency is a thing. Don't worry if you don't know what to do right now, but is a goal actually to be consistent in your training? Is your goal to actually build strength to level up? Or maybe is it you want to increase your flow and maybe work on exotic dancing, that kind of thing. So you really need to focus on what your goal is, okay? And it's going to be different for everyone. So for us, like, we focus on the fitness and building the strength, you know, getting stronger, leveling up through our levels, which all comes down to the tricks and combos and building that strength. But, you know, if that's not your thing and that's not what you want to achieve, then you're not going to want to be training with us, because that's, you know, that's the area that we focus on, right? Okay, that's our zone of genius, okay? So does that make sense? So you've got to find what it is you actually want to achieve, because if you don't know, how can you make a plan, right? Okay, so once you've got that understanding, you may even want to enter competitions, okay? So whatever it is, you've figured out, okay, this is what I want to achieve. Now, how do we work on to achieve those, okay? So the most important thing is, when you're thinking about your goals, is you're not thinking about how to achieve them. You're actually thinking, you know, you can go big. If you're just a beginner and you're like, oh my God, I've seen this move where you just hang out to the side, it's called 9X. I really want to achieve that. Put it down, that's a goal, okay? That's a goal, and that means you need to build up strength, okay? And then we can work backwards and make a plan from that. Does this make sense? For some of you, it's a case, I just want to level up. I just want to be able to train every week. I want to level up. I want to feel awesome. I want to be stronger. I want to be able to do these moves well. I want to be able to hold them and, you know, transition in and out, because sometimes you might just learn a move and then you jump out of it, or you fall out of it and you've just got the move for Instagram and then you've never done the move again. So actually we need to recap that, okay? The only way to grow strength or build strength is repetition and putting combos together and that kind of thing, okay? But that's my area of expertise. If that's what you're wanting help with, then that's something I can help with. You might not want me, okay? And that's finding somebody. So once you know what your goal is, then you need to find somebody that can actually help you, okay? So like, for example, if you want to enter competitions, if that's a goal, then you need to find somebody who, you know, maybe enters a lot of competitions or helps with comp training. Not me, okay? I got nothing to do with competitions. Does that make sense? So that you can zone into their area of, you know, their genius zone and grab the information you need to be able to make a plan together. Yeah. Does this make sense so far? Let me know. I had my fat day yesterday. Once a month treat. I love it, Jennifer. I love it. Kathy, you've sent me 2 lots of stars, 150 and 149. Oh my God, I feel love. Thank you. So find your area where you want to achieve, and then find that person that's right fit for you. And one thing I want to say, guys, is not everyone is a good instructor, okay? And what I mean by that is, especially if you're looking towards, you know, some of like, you've seen other people like, how can I say this? Like pole stars, you know, you've seen them in the competitions and they're winning everything and they're really freaking epic, because my God, so many of them got crazy skills, but they don't always have the skills to teach, okay? And that's something it's really important to remember, especially if you're signing up to programs, courses, whatever, right? Whatever it may be, you are going to find that if their zone of genius is not teaching, they might know how to do the moves, but if they're just like, oh, put your hand here and lift the leg, that's not going to help you, right? So you've got to try out these things first. So admire them, but find somebody who can actually teach and that you enjoy learning from. Does this make sense? Jennifer, thank you so much. Oh my God, the stars are rolling in today. You guys are getting on that board. Honestly, thank you. I feel really loved. Oh my God. Restrain myself, Kelly. Good. Okay, I'm back. So you've got to find that person that you can connect with. Now, most people offer, like, you know, maybe a free 7-day trial if you're doing stuff online. I'm talking about online generally because this is what we focus on. We're an online studio, and also it's the topic of learning at home, what you can do. So you definitely want something, maybe your studio offers you something anyway. So maybe they have like a course, an online course that you can follow, or maybe just ask them and say, hey, is there anything that you offer that I can do at home? Especially if you love them and you love their teaching and it's really helpful to you, then, you know, absolutely grab out to them, because especially if you're going to their studio classes as well, it makes sense. That's not to say you can't learn from lots of different people as well. I think you can broaden your skills when you learn from lots of different people, but you definitely need to choose the right people. Jennifer Mason, wow, what are Jennifers tonight? Bless you, thank you so much. Oh God, I'm gonna cry with stars. I love stars, thank you. Don't get emotional, Kelly. Stay focused, girl. Thanks, lovelies. I do feel so loved. I do feel really loved. I'm very grateful. This is what I'm grateful for, you guys. I'm grateful for the internet right now, that I can connect with you. I'm grateful that I'm still connected to this blinking internet, because you know what my technology is like. It doesn't always serve me very well. That's so sweet, guys. Love you guys so much. Yes, okay, so now hopefully you have found somebody who can help you, right? And then you need to figure out exactly what you can commit to each week. So, okay, so you've got to be realistic, okay? So many people that I speak to, because when they book a call with me, we have a chat like their goals and stuff, and they're like, oh yeah, I can definitely commit to 5-6 times a week. And actually when they try, like, we don't actually offer anything more than 3 times a week. Because then if something pops up, at least you've got another day you could like switch it around. You have to be consistent in these things, and it's being realistic as well. Can your body cope with that? And if you're trying anything new, if you're looking to achieve anything specific, if those goals are particularly strength based, you're going to need rest days, okay? And you might go, well, I've been training every day anyway, but have you been training to the level that you're going to do the lessons with? Because that can make a huge impact onto your body, and you may need that extra time to recover. So I would start off small. So any new training program, rein it back, okay? Start off, maybe 2 or 3 days maximum, especially if you're focusing, if you've got like 6 days a week available. Do that first, and then only if that feels good, then you can add upon it, okay? Let your body have time to adjust to a new routine, all right? Does this make sense? Now, you might only have once a week. A lot of our members only train once a week, and they still make progress. Yes, understanding you are not going to make as quick of a progress as somebody who's doing 2 to 3 times a week. It's obvious, okay? So it's really important. This is why it's really important not to compare yourself to other people, because you don't know what unless you know what their training's like, you don't know what they're doing at home, you don't know what they're doing in between, you don't know what they're cross training with, and that can make a huge difference. If you don't know, ask them, say, hey, I've been watching you, I admire you, don't feel jealous about it, can you tell me how you got there? What are you doing? They may have a background in swimming, and so therefore their shoulders are super strong, or they've been gymnasts before. You cannot compare yourself to those people, because they're not come from the same background as you. You need to compare somebody that's exactly the same, okay? Maybe if you've never done any fitness before, find somebody who's never done fitness before. Maybe you're a mum, find somebody who's got the results, who never done fitness before, and they're a mum, and they are still smashing it. Those are the people that you want to model and understand what they've done to achieve what they're achieving. Yeah, so they may say to you, oh yeah, I train 2 to 3 times a week. However, do you have 2 to 3 times a week available to train? No, right, that's not going to work, okay? You need to find somebody who's got once a week available and it has achieved the goal that you want. Those are the people you want, okay? You've got to be really specific, right? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting through this, guys. And hopefully I'm not boring you too much. I want to help you as much as I can. Alrighty, okay, so let me just move this down. So you know what you want. And then it might be measurable. Measurable meaning, how are you going to track your progress? Most people don't track their progress being new. They don't know how. They don't, actually, it's not even just beginners. It can be a lot of people who may be in training pole for a long time, and they're still stuck with the same things. I've mentioned this before. So many people I hear, oh my God, I've been training splits for years. I'm like, what? And you've not made much progress? Let's rein it back. Have you really been training splits for a year, or have you been doing it once every couple of months as a lesson? Because that ain't going to get you anywhere. That's not really training, okay? Does this make sense? I'm being honest with you guys, okay? Honest and realistic. I'm putting it out there. So measurable, how are you going to track your progress over a period of time, okay? For example, if you're doing a comp, when is the comp? Okay, is the comp in 6 months' time? Then you can train backwards. Look at the comp requirements. What do you need to know? What do you need to achieve? What do you need to input into this competition? Okay, Then go and source somebody who's a competition trainer, okay, who may be able to guide you with exactly what to do, how to train. And of course, if you only got once a week, then we need to plan something once a week. So when you know what to achieve, what days you've got available, then you can add, so start that again. When you know what days you've got available, whether it's once, twice, 3 times a week, and whether you know your goals, then you can separate those goals into what days. Then it's realistic of what you need to achieve, okay? So if you, for example, you wanted to achieve a chopper, or straddle invert, whatever you like to call it, straddle V, and you've got, your goal is to get it in 6 months, okay? You break that down, that goal down into six months, okay? So what was that? 6, 12, 24 weeks. I can't do maths, I'm rubbish, okay? So say it's 24 weeks. So you break down 24 weeks of lessons if you've only got once a week to train, and then you input it, so you work upon it. And then in those 24 weeks, I would break it down probably into either monthly or, 6 weeks, or, every other month, to track what you're doing. Do that for a period of time, whether 4, 6 or 8 weeks, and then compare your first training to your 4th, 6th, 8th week of training. Have you made progress? Okay. If so, fantastic. Does that feel easy now? Do we need the next step? Okay. If you have not made much progress in that time, we need to switch it up. Okay. So we need to review your lessons of what you've put in it to make sure that you can get to the next stage, okay? So you break that chopper down into different sections. Hence why if you do the Master the Chopper training, you've got like 4 different sections in there that you follow. So you master section 1 first, then master section 2, section 3, section 4, and then hopefully you'll be there. Does this make sense? But if you don't track your progress, if you're just like, oh, just do it, and not really focus on your lines and not looking at, can you get your knees higher? Can you hold it for longer? Then you're just hoping for the best. Okay, so that's how to know what to achieve with your goals and how to put it in. Now, what you need to put in there is going to totally depend on what your goal is. Okay, and this is why I'm saying reach out to somebody who can help you specifically with your goals. If it's Master the Chopper or Chopper, okay, I call it Master the Chopper, it's our program name or training name. Then we can go, okay, this is the bit you're going to focus on. Okay, Master the Chopper training. Let's start off with section 1. Okay, you've got maybe 2 to 3 times a week available. You're going to focus on MTC at least once a week, every single week. Okay, and I want to see progress, and we put progress already in there. So we say, at lesson 8, hey, let's have a look to see if that you've made progress. Post a video. So you start off with a progress video, like when you do your first lesson, and then you do it again on your 8th session, and then we make sure we're seeing results. Yeah, that's how you're going to know you've progressed. All right, so you can do that at home. That's really important, and this is why you've got to plan. Okay, you've got to get your diary out. You've got to do week by week what you're going to do in it. Okay, not that I'm just going to train. Okay, now I know what my goal is. Okay, I know it's chopper, and I got once a week. Okay, I'm going to work on my chopper today. Right, what are your exercises? So a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to work on my tucks. I've been doing so many tucks and not making progress. Well, what else are you doing? There can be so much you can train for your chopper that's not tuck related, okay? Or it is tuck related, but it's not tucks on the pole, okay? We can help you do so much on the floor. There are other exercises you can do on the pole. There's so much that you can do, not just, if you're not making progress with your tucks right now, you've got to work up towards it somehow, okay? Not just expecting a miracle. And this is where some people will say, I've been doing it for ages, I've been doing it for years, because they're expecting to do the same thing every day and not see a different result, okay? So plan each session exactly what you're going to do in that session, okay? So if you know you've got 45 minutes, okay, you're going to make sure you've got a 45-minute session, make sure you do warm up and then make a plan. So when you come to that day, it's like, bam! I know exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to follow it. There's going to be no messing around because I'm training at home, okay? I've got nobody to tell me what to do, but I've already figured it out. So once a week, figure out what you're doing in your plan, in your sessions every week, and you'll make so much more progress rather than get on your phone scrolling through Instagram to try and find inspiration. Does this make sense? Okay, cool. Right, let's see what else is going on. I'm thinking soon I can add in some extra training. Did you say you are doing live switch lessons next month? Yes, so from September, Monday the 19th, I'm doing them, but they're in the morning, Kathy. They're 9:30 a.m. Will you be able to get out of bed for that? I know Kathy is a bit of a late bird rather than an early bird, but yeah, 9:30 a.m. on a Monday morning, starting from the 19th of September. I'm going to do a live split session, so absolutely, if you are awake, you can come and join us for that. And I know that some of you have already booked in because I've been getting notifications, which is cool. And of course, it's part of Mission 500. So if you've been joining that, if you've joined that membership, by the way, guys, we're pretty much nearly halfway there on our 100. So we've got 100 spots available for that membership. We're already nearly halfway there through this month. So by the end of the month, that offer will go, okay? Because we're bound to fill them up. So if you want it, get involved ASAP, okay? Kathy's swearing at me. Okay, does this make sense so far? Okay, so we know what you want to achieve. You know how you're going to track your progress. Is it achievable? Okay, or are you brand new and you've just said, oh, I really want to get my INX or Aisha in 6 months' time? Okay, that's not realistic. Let's go with breaking that first goal down. Okay, let's get your invert in 6 months. Yeah, that's the first step. That's more realistic. That's more achievable for your average person. What else was I going to say? Time scale. So timing is important. Else you don't want to say you've been doing something for years. Okay, this is where that tracking comes in with the measurable section. If you have, I'll tell you what. I don't know if you've got this. This is something that I created a while ago now. This is my diary. Hang on, let me find the front page. Yeah, it would be what I'm holding. The Ultimate Planner Diary. This can help you so much. This is where I'm guiding my training on how I teach, how I train, how I put our program together. And that is basically using this. So you can write your goals on here, okay? You know, what is specific, what are you going to do, how are you going to measure results, are you going to track it every 4 weeks or are you going to track it every 6 weeks, write it down. Then in your diary, so I have to plan my day out hour by hour because I won't get anything done. So if you are super busy and you're making excuses, oh, I haven't got time, you need to track what you're doing hour by hour, because I bet you will have some time. So in the mornings before my partner gets up, I actually get up early. I get up about 5:30. That might not be early for some of you, but I get up at 5:30-ish. And I train before my partner goes to work, because that is the only time it's quiet in the house. It's not so hectic outside. I've got the door going, the dogs aren't barking. I can get a lot of my work done, and I only focus on one thing per day. If I plan too much, it gets overwhelming. So having something written down could be super helpful. And then it's also got on here meals and stuff. Okay, so talking about nutrition yesterday, you can plan what you're going to eat, not only on your my fitness pal, but you can always write it on here and track your water. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to add this so you can download it as a PDF, so you can print it out to the Mission 500 membership. So all you peeps that have already got it anyway and already purchased the membership, you'll find it on your portal. I haven't added it yet because I've just thought about it. But give me, 24 hours, I'll get that up on there. You'll be able to download it, get stuck in, okay? So if you've if you've got the membership as well, any of you UPP members, you also have it anyway as part of UPP, so you can just download it. And you can just download certain pages. You don't even need to, because it's a thick diary, because it's a page by page. But you can just download just certain pages. And also actually some people have, per day, for example, they will just print out one page and then they will laminate it so that they can wipe it off. Or they might do 7, okay, and they have 7 on their wall and it's all wipeable. So you don't have to have a big diary like this. If you don't want it, you can just print it out and use it. And obviously if it's all what do you call it? What did I just call it? I can't remember. But anyway, something that you can wipe it off with. So you can just use a pen. I can't get my words out. A whiteboard pen. You can wipe it off every single week and make your plan. Does this make sense? Oh, thank you, Kathy. It's a great planner. Do you know what? Oh, bloody get my ass up for it. Thank you for all the bonus. Like, oh, you're welcome. I'm feeling privileged. I can't wait to see you there that time of the morning. I won't, expect much conversation, but if you show up, hats off to you. Brilliant. We'll be looking for the switch training. Yeah, so awesome. So as you progress, so if it really depends on your membership, guys. If you're on Mission 500, you're going to see the link on there. If you're UPP and you go into developmental, you'll see the link on there. And if you're an original member and you have access to our live lessons, you will see the link on that Zoom section on your portal. Okay, so everybody is different with who joins us, so nobody has exactly the same membership, so it's all unique to you guys depending on what you need. Okay, but I will make sure, you know what, I need to put that in my diary right now because I have a memory like a sieve and I will forget. So let's put it here as a reminder note. Add diary to Mission 500 membership. If it's written down, I'm usually pretty good. If it's not written down, I used to have a really good memory. I don't anymore. So I have to plan everything in. Okay, so yeah, make sure that you plan everything in, and it will make a huge difference. If you do not plan, you will likely continue to do the same thing you've always done. So if you have really struggled to be consistent with your poll, if one of your things is to be consistent with poll, get your diary out. Okay, please just spend half an hour just to plan for this week. Okay, it's not going to take you too long. Okay, do it in bed, get up half an hour in the morning, whatever you need to do. If it's important to you, okay, if it's important to you and you have the right mindset, you'll do it. Otherwise you're making an excuse. It's as simple as that. Okay, you will need to find, once you know your goals, like I said, is making sure that you have the right training. So if you are looking to level up, okay, you can do it on your own. You don't necessarily need to find a coach or anybody if you don't want to. It just takes a lot more planning on your part, okay? So for example, there are lots of lessons that you'll be able to find on Instagram, on YouTube. It's not the best way to learn because lots of people say, oh, this is beginner. This is a beginner level. No. Some of it, I've looked at it and like, no, that is not what I class beginner. Actually, a lot of that is intermediate. So there's lots that you can do before that. And if you don't know what you don't know, you're going to think, oh, I should be doing that. Okay. And for a lot of it, it's not. You need to make sure you find a really good instructor. Okay. And if they are really shit hot at pole and they are like competition training and a famous poler, make sure you're able to do some lessons with them and understand that, they can give you the right skills and you're happy with how you're progressing. And also actually like compare and ask, okay? Ask in the groups, okay? There's lots of Facebook groups around that other people can help you with. Hey, I'm beginner. Well, I've been taught these moves. Would you say that's the right level? Okay, grab the information that you need. Don't believe everything you're going to find on the internet to be, the best thing that you can do, because it's not. How can I access the Mission 500 program on my phone, or does it require a computer? You can access it on your phone or your computer. Now, if you have already, are you already a member? I don't remember seeing your name. Maybe I missed it. Even if you're not a member or not a member, it doesn't matter. If you are on your phone, guys, it will look slightly different than being on a computer. So when you're on a computer, it will come up like, it will show everything lovely. And it have like the different lessons at the top. So if you've got like the Mission 500 membership, you'll see like strong and flexi, and you click on it. And then it will come with a drop down of like core blast lessons, body blast lessons, front splits lessons. And you just pick the ones that you want, right? If you are on a mobile and you log in, you need to have a look. There's 3 lines at the top right of your screen, and that's your menu. Click the menu button once you log in, then go down and you'll find the lessons, okay? Hopefully that makes sense to you. If you don't have the link, let me know. I will actually link it for you now. So it's www.polepoweracademy.com/Mission 500. This link will expire at the end of the month, okay? So there we go. Oh, it says strong reflection membership info, but ignore that, it's Mission 500. Okay, so does this all make sense? Is this helpful? Please let me know if this is helpful to you guys, and whether you needed any extra help with anything, specifically. Did I answer everything for you, or are you still confused of what to do? For example, if you're like, oh, but I really just want to work on lessons. I don't really have any specific like goals. Like I don't want to, saying you don't want to work on INX or anything like that, but you want to level up. Cool. Consistency in your training, leveled lessons, okay? And make sure your lessons are not just, I would always go for courses over lessons, okay? Courses or programs. Something that's not only leveled, but basically like leads one onto another, okay? So that you're actually learning beginner. So you could go to a beginner class. However, if lots of people in that beginner class has been there 6 months, you're not going to learn the beginner moves that they would have learned 6 months ago. Does that make sense? So making sure that you can start from the very, very first session, how to engage your shoulders, how to walk around the pole, how to hook, how to use static and spin pole, okay? I recommend doing both. That's another subject. Does this make sense? So that you can't miss any of the foundations, because a lot of people do miss their foundational skills. So for example, if you are, learning to climb, you would want to know actually how to push and activate your quads and pull with the calf, the gripping position. You definitely want to have a look at fireman spin before you even look at climbing. Does this make sense? But even though like climbing for a lot of people is still classed as beginner, there's still certain moves that you should learn before, okay? And if you're a beginner, you might not know that, and this is why I'm sharing this knowledge with you, okay? So it don't matter whether it's with me or somebody else, find a course that starts from the lessons carry on one from another. So for example, in our lessons, you'll do a move, and then in the next, you'll do a range of moves and a combo, and then in the next lesson, we may recap 1 or 2 of the moves from the previous lesson that we can then develop on, okay? So you continue to work and build your strength that way. Hopefully that makes sense to you. Oh, you're very welcome, Hannah. Cool, okay? So if you are working with somebody and you have built, you've got a course or a program, you then have a lesson plan already developed for you. If you don't have a lesson plan already developed for you, like I said, go and check out, you can check out Instagram and YouTube. Just make sure that you really are thorough with seeing what the moves are. Write the moves down. Check it in a group, okay? There's lots of Facebook groups that you can check out. You can come and join ours. It's Pole Addicts, but you will need to join our pole. We do a challenge. It's a free challenge. You can find it on our website, and actually that goes through an intro session, a beginner lesson with you, and it follows on one from another, so you get an idea of how we teach. But whether it's with me or somebody else, if you've got a plan or you're finding something on YouTube, write it down in your diary. So like I said, when you get to that session, it's already there. You know exactly what to do, okay? If you need to build strength, is conditioning built into that session, or do you need to add upon it, okay? So you may need to find specific beginner conditioning workouts on YouTube, if that's what you're going through, or ask your coach or mentor or whoever you've got. Does that make sense? Anyway, I feel like I'm babbling, but hopefully you've got a lot of info from this. So Shell, what's included in the Mission 500 Cal doesn't include warm up and cool down or beginner pole. So no, the Mission 500, the current Mission 500 membership is to help people off the pole. So at the moment that is body blast lessons, workouts, 30 minutes, less than 30-minute workouts. Some of them are 20 minutes. Body blast, core blast, okay, to help you build that strength even when you're not around the pole, so you can be anywhere in the world. Front splits lessons to increase your flexibility. I'm also offering a live in that one and a beginner handstand course that you can follow on one from another. So there's actually no specific pole in that. So yes, if you are looking for pole lessons, stay tuned. I will find something for you guys. Of course, we've got our normal membership, okay? So if you check out our, let me put it in for you. Input this one. Hang on 2 seconds. Let me just make sure it's the right link. Actually, I'm just going to put our memberships up there. Then you can check out all the memberships that we have available. Does this make sense? Where have we gone? Let me reply to you. Here we go. How do I reply?
149. Oh my God, I feel love. Thank you. So yeah, okay.
Whoa! Let's stop that. Nothing worse. Right. Here reply. Here we go. There we go. Hopefully that helps. So yeah, we do have a specific membership that will help you with poll as well. But keep tuned, because I may still offer the next membership to help you with poll that I haven't decided yet. It really depends on you guys and who shows up for these Mission 500. Yeah. Anyway, I've got to finish because I have just realised that it is now MTC. So that's our Master the Chopper training live with my members, and they'll be wondering where I'm at. So if you've got any further questions, please do let me know. I will reply to them after. But yes, make sure you get this plan in, and I will speak to you soon. Bye.